Hi guys, welcome back. I've got a really exciting pool to show you. One of my favorite pools that we've done. It was featured in the 2023 Parade of Homes. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more behind the scenes, how it was built and why we built it, the reason we did for the customer. We're going to take you on a really cool adventure on this pool. This pool is about 10 feet deep, 30 feet wide, 4 feet shallow at the shallowest point, with a nice Baja shelf, lily pads, spa, fire pits, water features, palm trees. It has it all. You can't go wrong having a pool like this. When we sat down with the builder on this, it was RL Design, RL Builders, and he had some things that he wanted to see in the pool, and we added some things, and then we created a masterpiece. In this one, we ended up going about 30 feet wide, 60 feet long, and 10 feet deep. The reason is we went 10 feet deep because we have about a 12-foot tall water feature to jump off of. So we wanted to make it safe for everybody to jump off of. We also went about 4 feet deep in half the pool, so there's plenty of room to play. You could have a little volleyball in there, basketball, whatever you wanted to do. This pool has benches like you have not believed. It's got benches down both sides of the pools, so at night, if you're sitting here having a party, whatever, you could just chill on the bench, watch the sunset. And they're about waist deep, so you could just sit and have your mocktail or whatever. This pool also has really cool features, like it's got tons of quartz in the plaster, so it gives this really, really beautiful blue that you're looking at now. It's got two types of quartz in there. It has a dark blue and a light blue, and then the color on the plaster we went with is a Tahoe blue. During a really clear day like today, it reflects the sun and gets that really clean blue look that you want in a pool. No artificial looking colors to it. It also has 4 pot fire features on both sides of the pool with sheer descents coming out of them. The pots are all gas, they're keyed, and so at night you can light them up and the place will glow. Not to mention the 2 front planters in front of the pot fire features that both have pindo palms. I'm a plant guy, I love plants. And one of my favorite palm trees for the area that grows really, really well in the area is a pindo palm. Doesn't winter over. We just went through our winter here in St. George. Palm trees are still green, these pindo palms. They're beautiful palms. They grow really good in southern Utah. They also are very slow growing, so it's a great accent palm for around your pool like this. In front of the palm, you have 2 more sheer descents. So we have 6 sheer descents in total in this pool on both sides, which really frame in the center of this pool nicely. The back side of the pool, we have this 12-foot platform jumping sheer descent water feature. You can access it with steps behind the water feature, go up to it, get on the platform and jump 10 feet deep, and you're not going to hit the bottom on that. The 10-foot deep area gradually goes up to 4 feet. In the Baja shelf, we did something really cool. It's one of my favorite things to do. We've done it on other pools. Is in this one, I call them lily pads. And basically, some people call them floating steps, lily pads. To get to the back drop down area, we built these lily pads over the water that you can walk on. We cemented them in, tiled them, and then stone capped the top. And then they have about 4 inches of gap, so you can actually, when you're walking over them, see the water in between them. That allows you to get to the back area where you can drop down into the sunken layout gathering area. And it's just an area where you can chill and have a really good time on a weekend night or whatever. But the coolest part about being down in that sunken area is there's glass, plexiglass, that you can see into the pool. I know that some of you have been to SeaWorld and you've seen the dolphins and the whales and you can see through the glass. That's very similar to this. We did glass so you can see swimmers going by. We got 4 windows you can see into. They're set in the gunite, plastered in the pool, so they're about 4 feet long each one and about 2.5 feet deep each one. The thickness of the glass is about 3 inches. We build a lot of pool with glass. I built spas and all sorts of stuff. Is kind of where they sit, the span of it. We can even buy glass that has, plexiglass that has a radius on it. What you have to remember when you're building a pool with plexiglass is water pushes. And you have sun and water, so sun will heat the plexiglass and could make it soft, and where you have the pressure of the water pushing. So you have to really do your engineering on the glass to make sure that it can actually hold the water in the pool so you don't have an accident later. You don't even want to see that glass bone in the future. You want to make sure that it's set in, that it's waterproof, that it's the right amount of thickness to hold the pressure of the water, as well as the heat of the sun, which could soften that glass in future. In this pool, I also did the landscaping. We thought about this pool a lot. We wanted to build a paver pathway with a bridge to the spa, an access to the lily pads, and an access to a sitting area. So over here we have the spa. This spa is a Vanishing edge spa. It's raised about 3.5 feet above the pool. The spa is shared water with the pool. It fills up, overflows into the pool. You go out to dinner one night with your wife, hit a button, want to hit in the spa, the water will separate, no longer share with the pool, and then the spa will heat up to the desired temperature. Most people 103 degrees, come back from your dinner, sitting in the spa. What's really cool about this spa is it has several other features like water features around it. What we did on the one side of the spa is it's called a rain descent, meaning you have a sheer descent, which is just sheer water, and a rain descent, which is more like rain coming down. We build a water feature that is a little bit higher than the spa. When you turn it on, it sounds like rain and it comes straight down like rain. It hits an upper trough in the spa, and then it goes over, the upper trough shares and goes into the pool. Then it goes over into a little really cool stream bed that goes towards his house into the front door. The whole design of this was when you're opening the front door, you're looking at this long, narrow stream that goes all the way to the spa. We chose, for the pool, if you remember, I talked about the blue plaster that we chose with quartz. In the spa, we chose a black plaster with a black quartz. The reason being is we wanted to look more like a mirror image. The best way to describe a mirror image is if you have a cup of coffee or a black soda, you can see your face in the reflection of it. That was the whole idea of this, so you can see the reflection on top of the spa and this cool little riverbed. I'm gonna walk you to the end of the riverbed and I'm gonna show you something that's really super cool that we did here. This stream is the stream that goes in, it wraps around. All this water is shared with the pool. All of it is circulated back into the pool. What we did on this is it's called a telescope waterfall. It goes 7 feet deep in the ground. It's basically like a submarine periscope where they push it up and look around. This is the same thing. It goes down in the ground. When you turn it off, it drops about 7 feet below the surface area. And when you turn on the water pressure pushes it up in the air and it pops up above the water and it allows it to bubble or gurgle over. It has different head nozzles you can put on it. It has a mushroom spray. It has just a bubbler like the one that's on it now. Also has like fans, all sorts of things that you can change it out. In this little pond area, it's got lights in it. So at night, this whole thing, the whole stream and waterfall and everything can sync with the pool and it all lights up and it follows the same colors. Like I say, this water actually has 2 8-inch pipes going back to the pool. So when the waterfall flows to this area, it runs into the pipes and goes back. So one body of water is chemicaled by this entire pool and spa and waterfall. Very easy for the maintenance guys to come along and just treat one body of water, which will treat the whole area. This particular pool has 8 pumps and 4 filters and 3 heaters on it. It's got also a chem system, so it injects the muriatic acid into the pool as well. All right, guys, so the lily pads that I was talking about, this is it. I'm walking across it. So really cool, you can see water in between each one, as well as the plaster. The water's coming over the spa here, running through it into the pool. Super cool feature to get to your below patio sitting area. So what I was talking about earlier about the plexiglass in the below portion, I've got a 3-foot section here. This section's about almost 8 feet long, 3 inches thick, and then what's really cool is you see the person on the other side swimming. The water level sits about 2 to 3 inches lower than this. The plexiglass itself is notched into the gunite, then waterproofed, then plastered. On this particular one, we built planters and fire pits around it, kind of give it that really cool feature and cool look to it. But this pool, because of this glass when we put it in, I've seen it in magazines that I've never even heard of. So it was on the cover of the Home Show magazine. It was also on the lanyards of everybody. So I think this pool really showed well with the glass and the glow at night, and it ended up being all over the place where everybody could see it. But now you've seen and heard a little bit more about this. The other cool thing about this pool is we wanted a lot of fire. I love water, but I also like fire. And so as you can see, we had the 4 fire pots that we had. Then I added 2 front lava features that just are in the ground, and they're just gas lines and they come up through the lava. Then behind the spa, I've got a raised fire pit. So when you're sitting in the spa, cold night, you can turn it on, or if you're having a party just for the ambiance. The other 2 fire pits that I had that you actually could sit around are the below patio fire pit. You can put your patio furniture around it. And then by the really cool water feature by the house, I've got a lower fire pit, which is just so you can sit around it at night, roast some marshmallows, whatever you want to do, some s'mores. And the other thing that this pool has is LED lights throughout the entire pool. So at night, with the fire features, it is a glow. So anywhere inside the house or the window, you can see fire features and glowing. I had to add something to it, a little bit of piece of me. I'm really good friends with the homeowners here. It's R.L. Wyman. He builds a fantastic home. I thought I would give him a little secret message, little bit of me in this pool. Over in his pool over here, I've got a little guy that looks like me, and I hid him in the pool. I'll pull him out and show you. It's my little secret gnome, and he just looks just like me. And I stuck him in his pool, didn't tell him about it. And one day late at night on a weekend, he texted, or his wife said, "Who did this?" And then he goes, "I don't know, but it looks like Adam." And then they figured it out, it was me. So here he sits over and watches the pool, and just kind of a fun little secret I did for the homeowners here. So I'm gonna put him back so he can continue to watch over the pool. So on this home, one of the things is I'm also a landscaper as well as a pool builder. And in this particular home, we also landscaped it as well. We did full front and back. It's a little over 2 acres here. What we did is in the front, it's got a circular driveway. It's got beautiful landscaping up front. I used a lot of southern live oak, holly oaks. The plants in here are tangerine beauty vines that grow and bloom big orange blossoms. Flowers throughout spring, summer, and fall on them. I've got mondo grass, as well as they wanted the palm tree theme in the back. So I've got California Folifera palms that we brought in. They're shaved, really cool, clean palms. I talked a little bit about the pindo palms. One of my favorite plants is in this house. I love Hawaii, and I love little gem magnolias. And in the backyard here, where we have the feature going to the front door, I planted little gem magnolias. They're a waxy green leaf, velvet on the other side, big blooming flower. You see them in Hawaii. It's one of my favorites. I've got a lot of them in this yard. In the back, we also did a putting green, so you can putt around in over there. And then I did a double trampoline, sunken trampoline from down under. That's my favorite tramp. I use the down under tramp because it sucks air under, allows for a bigger bounce. Just a great tramp. The other thing I did, just like the other one, was I added a hammock area. So we placed 3 palms so we could have 2 hammocks going both different directions. Thanks guys for sharing this evening with me, and let me tell you about this pool a little bit behind the scenes. I've got more pools coming up. I've got pools I'm going to show you that in the building process, as well as pools that we've already built. So be sure to click our link up here for our next pool. I'm going to take you on tour of our 2024 pool. It's a fun one. It's got lazy rivers and all kinds of fun things there. Come back and join me, and I'll take you on a tour for the 2024 pool.